Hi, welcome back, everyone. Hope you got a good break just now, a good, cup of tea, whatever you needed to just be back in the mood. So we shall resume our webinar with Dr. Imran. Dr. Imran, please. Your mic, Dr. Imran.
Apologies, bear with me. Nak share
Okay, no problem.
Right, apologies. Right. Thank you very much for number one, wonderful timekeeping. I'm starting to notice the time, but it's okay. I'll try to make it much more purposeful. There's a lot of discussion points based on participants, so I hope that you guys can bear with me as I speak a bit more, because I really want to discuss on the strategies with regards to you. I don't want to come up with a template that's try this Facebook, Instagram, so on and so forth, TikTok, TikTok, so on, because I really want to know where you're coming from, and I promise you, it really helps your business if you can just give me a bit more details, right? So number one, let's go on to the topic of online marketing strategies and techniques. So first step, no key points where your customers interact with you. So if you've seen this is a marketing funnel. Let me just spend 1 or 2 minutes. So usually marketing funnel is just a parameter set by any company, small one or big ones, on how the customer is processed. Some of them are at the awareness phase, they're just aware about our product. Consideration phase, they're considering on buying our product or services, and conversion phase is basically when they decide to, and when the point of sale, whenever they make a sale, and then there's loyalty and advocacy. So it's an oversimplified marketing funnel, but but I promise you, it's all the more important for any existing business. For corporations, for example, you have roughly around in a new area, especially when in my experience in Johor, Iskandar Johor Bahru back then was called Sujaya. Kota Iskandar was being developed, and all of the infrastructure was being set up. The reason why there's big telco companies or investing tens of millions of ringgit in cell phone towers and to add coverage and fiberization from TM and so on, and TNB coming out with a power plant and power limiter control center around there. So of course because to supply the government there, and of course the private sector. The reason behind it was the pool of like how many people are going to be there. I mean, with the total land size, how many buildings are erected, how many targeted population that they're going to go. So that's why they invest early, so that it's a bit cheaper right now, so that whenever the market expands, whenever the market matures, they'll have easy access to those people, right? So the awareness is being aware of it. Okay? Consideration would be like, in a population of 2,000 people within your area, how many people are actually, fit your target need? Out of those 2,000 people, not everybody is a customer, number one, because they don't have buying power. Kids and non-adults, those people who don't have any income, any credit card or any form of financing, so those are not our customers. And of course those are not our customers. So for example, tudung products for women, is exclusively for women. Yeah, yes, men do buy for gifts and such, but of course, let's not kid ourselves, it's predominantly women. I mean, you be a special breed of entrepreneurs who just want to cater, hey, man who was buying gift for your wife, spend time on that. No, just give us a nice funny post and marketing gimmick with that, and focus on women. Right, so those are the constitutions. So suddenly becomes from 2,000 becomes 200. Yeah, it's usually what it is. And then convert from those 200 who are available to buy from you, how many are actually buying? I mean, have you engaged with them and so on and so forth? It turns out from the 200 only 20 bought. It's fine. That's usually what it is. There's a big wide net cast on awareness, and then of course they go down, filter to conversion, and then from 2,000 becomes 20 is quite common. Trust me, do not be disheartened if that happens. This is quite common in any business. I dare say usahawan I yang jual kuih tepi jalan, right? Yes, I'm sorry, banyak usahawan saya banyak food products because that's what they do. So when dia jual kuih tepi jalan, so honestly tepi jalan, her awareness customers are probably in the hundreds a day because dia depan main road, depan perumahan PPR dia yang kat depan situ ada restoran, ada business center. So there's literally hundreds if not thousands of people passing through every day. But of course, her customers are like 10, 15 every morning. So again, it's more about those people who see her, they have to consider, oh, do we want to buy? Do we need kuih dan sebagainya? And then decide macam datang kat situ, kata, saya nak pilih ni. They're not going to buy everything, right? They're going to pilih, and then they're going to convert into however 15 customers that she has. Yes, she probably has 100 awareness prospects, hundreds awareness prospects, even if thousands even, and only 15 a day. It's fine. She only operates from 7 till 9. It's fine. It's more than enough for her. So, and of course, that's when again, just focusing on the microeconomy, orang yang sama yang pergi kerja, esoknya pergi balik. I mean sedapnya kuihnya tu, I like it. So they become loyal customers. So that's why you keep seeing some people just preferring the same route. It's a routine for them. For me, yes, every Saturday when I'm not working, I'll go wake up early. I don't even have to get dressed yet. Pakai kain belakang, I just tunggu kat depan pukul 7 untuk my favorite nasi lemak stall to open. And then I'll get the first dips and I'll buy for the whole. I'll eat. I'll dine in. Short 10-15 minutes, and then I'll just get the wait for my order. I usually buy for the whole family balik rumah. So again, it's just that simple. It becomes a routine, loyal customers. And I advocate every time. Whenever my relatives come by, whenever everybody wants to go for breakfast, okay, I'll just go for this. So I'll advocate, I'll pay for like 20 packs so that I can advocate for it. So again, it's more about that piece. And it happens every time in the microeconomy as well as the macroeconomic skills. For example, right now, one of the big things that people are utilizing is actually, okay, you can have these services, Netflix, everything. I advocate it every time. It's a multi-billion-dollar company with a lot of revenue coming in. But I'm advocating it because it's a good product, right? So it's more about that as well. Of course, let's look at Netflix's marketing funnel. There's literally 28 million Malaysians, but those who are qualified who can consider are actually maybe about 18 to 22 million, minus the kids and those who are not working, so 18 to 22 million, and you convert them. Right? Or they can approach it in a different way. They look at an existing market. Who are the Astro and Unify customers? Who are they? Oh, they have 10 million each. So let's take 1 million from each of them. That's another strategy for marketing funnel. So again, in order to know this, you need to know the parameters, the key points where you can track your customer's journey. Right? So apologies, I spent a bit more than 2 minutes about marketing funnel because that's very important, because that's how I track my sales. That's how I ask my entrepreneurs to track their sales, whereby they're just, odd jobs or a formal business company, business process, right? Moving on. So this is one thing that I like to share. This is called the customer journey with the touch points, digital and physical touch points. Now, I personally love, I know this is all about digital, I personally love physical touch points, because physical touch points, there's almost a guarantee that you can interact with your customers. But of course, digital is modified in a way where you can have tracking features as well as engagement features with your customers or prospects, right? So now I split it into awareness, pre-purchase and post-purchase. Of course, the purchase being the deciding factor. So awareness and consideration, usually when you have, people are just aware and considering. So they'll probably see you by the street or heard about you or read an article about you, and they didn't think much. But suddenly when the interest comes, when there's an interest, there's consideration. Hey, can I pay for this? Do I want this? So when that happens, there's a consideration. So usually now with the digital age, they are looking for reviews. They are looking for more information. With an exception to yours, of course, they'll go to your website to find out how it works. And that's why I notice a lot of companies, much like yourself, they don't put their prices online. So that's why websites that are non-e-commerce, the way you can't buy online and get it delivered online, you don't put your prices there. Why? Because you need them to be engaged. You need them to fully understand. It's part of the education, educating the customers, as I mentioned previously. So again, I'm not saying that it's wrong, but I notice the trends, much like whether you're practicing it or not. So that's when the consideration is, because you want to give them more information, all right? And even if they get third-party sources, hey, for 30 ringgit, this is very valuable. It's value for money. That's what you want. You don't want to say that, hey, it's 30 ringgit, buy it. You want to say, okay, talk about our products, what is the value that the customers get, what are the pains that they can help you with, and this is how easy it is for you to utilize. It doesn't add more of a homework to you, no much work for you, it's more of a solution for you. And then suddenly, then they decide whether they want to buy or not. It's a purchase phase. So in the purchase phase, it's very important because again, I make sure everybody from the nasi lemak, kuih, makcik jual nasi lemak, kuih kat tepi jalan, the point of sale senang, ya, duit cash yang dibagi kan, it's very simple kan. So but with companies, it's very complicated. So where are they paying you? Are they transferring to you? Are they buying on your website? Do you have a payment gateway? How do you track this? So I would usually say that it's good. If you're a big business, definitely you need a payment gateway. No way you can cope with 200 orders, 200 payments, and asking for particular details every time. You just need to automate that process by yourself. At least you find, oh, it's been paid, it's been paid, it's been paid. This is the address. I'll just send it now. At least you know it's being paid, right? Instead of you verifying the email and the receipts and everything, just automate the process. All right. In the physical phase, there's usually a POS, point of sale system, whether you have your inventory tied up with it, whether or not you have it or not, whether which software you're using. But basically, or you can pay by cash, credit card, so on, because it's easy. And remember yesterday, those of you who entered yesterday, I mentioned one of the big things with the government is that right now the difference in payments is that, of course, the government, they usually spend more money because that's the definition of subsidy in order to provide service rather than what the customer is paying. So whatever the customer is paying is less than whatever the cost for the government is. So that's not debatable. The issue is that when I mentioned yesterday was one of the technologies that is a big hassle, which is financial payment systems. That's why PayWave was created, and PayWave was widely adopted by Malaysia, because PayWave doesn't require the Visa and MasterCard fees. It's just a medium. So with the government service, let me just refresh everybody. They have to pay on additional fees. Not only that they have not only do they have apologies, my son just entered the room. Not only do they have this problem whereby they have to pay high fees upfront, they also have to incur the cost of transfer. It's preposterous. So that's why right now it's a big issue, because last time, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, everybody had money in their wallet. Everybody is expected to carry around 50 ringgit, 60 ringgit, 100 ringgit in their wallet. Right now, everybody's using either e-wallets or via, apologies, let me just, technical issue, let me just, give me 2 minutes. Right, so. Apologies, yeah. I have 2 young children at home. This is what happens when you don't school them, right? Okay, apologies. Now, moving forward, with the pain of the added cost of, digital burden, because that's what the customers are. The customers are not, expected to carry 200 ringgit in their wallet anymore. They probably have in their account. So it's either via debit or via credit. And of course, with credit, you have to add on fees. So that's why most systems are either justice, healthcare, anything that's subsidized in the office that you have to pay for, that they either accept only cash or only debit, because this is a big problem. Not only that you're spending more on subsidizing the cost for to Malaysians, you're also spending more on financial transactions, right? So that's why it's a big issue. So knowing where your customers are heading in terms of payment is also a strategy, so that actually you can use it as a trackable feature. I honestly, I don't ask anybody in my networks, in any company that I work with, I don't ask, all right, I myself don't like to give up my personal information to companies. So my phone numbers, my email is not required. However, When I do make a purchase, I understand they need my email, they need my phone number, they need my address to deliver that product or services, right? So I give it out freely. So I would just tie it up in a payment gateway. So whenever a customer needs a piece for me, they need to get it delivered via email or via physical delivery. I get all that data. So customers are more willing to spend time on whichever websites I'm working with, or they just and they just give out the details when only needed. Because again, I'm only interested in paying customers. So the purchase points are there because I can track them, right? And after that, there's the loyalty and advocacy, which is service and loyalty. So again, the service comes with the loyalty. Whenever you want a customer to be loyal, you need to come up with the service that matches the loyalty that you want from them. Don't ask customers to spend more for nothing. Ask them to spend more for additional value. Ask them to keep returning for additional value. That's why if you don't notice this, the membership cards, all the points cards, where it's actually to encourage spending as a loyalty card, not as a bonus add-on discount card. It's a loyalty card because, hey, if you keep spending with us, you get more rewards, you get more discounts, you get more points even. So that's where the purpose is. Of course, right now, the smartest thing to do, which is what is done by the e-commerce giants and the e-wallet industry, is that instead of the rewards being something subjective, whether you collect points and redeem it later, or just additional discount, you get either cash back, or you either get you either get e-wallet benefits in your e-wallet. So again, it's very, very promising in terms of that, right? And last but not least, when they achieve loyalty, there comes advocacy. I mean, for me, honestly, when my mom wants something, I recommend things that I use. When I ask something about mom, Imran, you went an operation, you use this brand. This brand nampak macam sports brand, but it's very good. It's also medically certified. So it also is in line with your surgery needs. So I just use it. My mom, because she had the same surgery 20 years ago. So yeah. Again, it's more about advocacy, because people trust. It's in line with word of mouth in the awareness, because people trust other people that care about them. Honestly, if I suggest something to my brother, it's not like, oh, you try this out and I will be very happy if you're not happy with the product. No, I want you to be happy with the product. So again, advocacy comes as a reward, and that's why I keep asking all of you to grow your customers, focus on your existing customers, because they will bring the new customers, honestly, but organically. And trust me, whatever that you market to them, you can give out the most expensive, the most enticing video or billboard ads. I promise you, the word of mouth marketing by somebody that they trust and love is much more meaningful to the new customer in bringing them into our business. I promise you that, right? So you notice there's a separation of the physical and digital. In the digital one, focus, there's usually say just Google this one for me. Focus on, there's a lot of trackable features within those digital touchpoints. So whether location-wise, whether payment-wise, COD and credit card, yeah, that's actually very valuable information. All right. If COD, what does it mean? It means that your customers don't have a credit card or online banking even. All right. So pay via cash whenever it's delivered. So you know that these are cash-rich customers or cash-rich. You need to have cash-rich business model in order to fulfill this customer basis. That's very important for me, because now I have to. Now I already spent a lot, like honestly 1,800 on just a payment gateway a year. Probably just save that money for something else. Yeah. 1,800 ringgit for a payment gateway. Now I know all my customers are cash and COD only, so I'll just make sure that just COD, right? If I'm paying for it, why does it matter if my customers are not using it, right? So it's very important that. So use those strategies in order to add a bit more of input in your perspective with regards to your customers, right? So apologies, I explore the customer journey. If you guys can do me a favor, please go ahead and print screen this. It's very, very important to understand the customer journey and how they interact with your business before you actually do marketing, because this helps you strategize and arrange priorities in order to fulfill the customer's needs later on, because this is how they perceive you, this is how they know you, and this is how they buy from you, and this is what they get from you in terms of service, and that will complete the life cycle of the one transaction. The good thing is that we don't plan for one transaction. We want, remember when I said yesterday, those of you who were not yesterday, I wanted you to keep asking the customers to come back in order to grow that business in terms of revenue. Instead of one customer giving you one-off revenue, one customer gives you a lifetime worth of revenue. That's what I am to TM. That's what I am to my telco companies. I keep paying monthly fees. Lifetime value so far, I think is somewhere around 10,000, I guess. So they have every reason in the world to want me to survive and live a long life, so they can keep getting thousands of ringgit from me every year, every half decade or so that I keep being the customer. Okay, so that's what they want. So they want to make sure that I'm happy with them. So that's what they're looking for. They're not looking for that 99 ringgit, even 300 ringgit one-off. They're looking for that whatever I'm comfortable paying monthly or even weekly or quarterly, every time, every year, every half decade or so. So yeah, okay. So that's how it works, right? Moving on. So plot your own customer's journey. Identify its pains and gains. So for me, I noticed, honestly, the only time I went to digital, because it's a very low cost business model, especially for charity, to help the needful during the pandemic. So I said, no, I don't want to spend much money on it, because it's just for me, it's just something it's nice to help other people with, and even something that I'm not really interested in, but I really want to give the proceeds to charity. So I did it, and it turns out that, oh my God, my customers are hounding me for receipts and everything, because of course I didn't have a payment gateway. And then I said, okay, fine, I'll get a package with the website with a payment gateway built in, with a fee built in. I'll just see how it goes. And surprise, it was suddenly much more efficient, and suddenly I had more time. Instead, doing accounting and financing, I had more time to grow the business, to find partners to partner with, to help the needful, and thankfully we hit a huge profit margin, just because we didn't hassle with tracking, making sure the payments are made and so on before we deliver. Everything is automated. I mean, there's a confirmation that is been done. Here's the contact person, the name, address, deliver to here. So you just key in one feature and then put it into a new delivery website, and the website will just say, oh, this is imported from your database, would you confirm, and then this is the fee, pay, and then that's it. Usually and of course pack and send the product, but still it's much more simpler. And the reason why I did that, because the customers, not only is why it was my pain, like to deal with customers' invoices, the customer says that, I'm sorry, where do I get a receipt invoice? So when I had that same framework, they will have an automatic email, similar like Lazada and Shopee, that they can just basically read. And yes, I did utilize those payment gateway so that they have a receipt, because they want they want to, I guess, claim or something, right? So at least they have that. So it's more about fulfilling the pains and gains. If I'm buying from you, every time I have to ask for receipt, it's a bit tedious. I see that as a customer, I have to work for you in order for you to give me what I want. All right, so that's not something that we want with our customers, right? So we make the process much easier. So when you plot your customer's journey, identify everything, whether your website. I know some of you, and let me just preemptively say to you, some of you, your customers, hey, kenapa tak ada harga dalam website? I know. You're not an e-commerce website provider. You're not selling in e-commerce primarily. You need to educate the customer. So the reason behind it is you want engagement. It's fine. If one of the pains of your customers is, oh, why don't you put your price? Why don't you just put it in on Shopee? Honestly, you just create a listing for your company. And again, don't be surprised. Banking and financial services are being sold on Shopee and Lazada. So you can do one too. So no matter what it is, yes, you can sell an online teaching class for, I guess, food processing on Shopee. They can buy the voucher and then you can email them the code. Yeah, you can do that as well, so that they are satisfied with the, oh, there's no pricing, there's no information, I don't know how to pay, it's a bit tedious. So you can have that link ready in case your customers are really, really eager to just, hey, I want to know the price and I want to buy right away. So yeah, you can do that as well. So, but of course, I understand the reasoning behind it. So you prioritize the engagement first, because again, if your customers are just paying for something that they don't know that they want, and they just want to refund it on, then it's going to be very tedious afterwards. Just make sure that they understand first before they finally decide to pay, right? So identify its pains and gains. So one more thing, one gain I was talking about e-commerce is actually emails. Oh my God. Trust me, with regular customers, now that you've learned this, because I don't usually ask people to do emails, because it's, well, who does emails anymore? Everybody's doing Telegram and WhatsApp. But trust me, if you have loyal customers, if you're practicing your business, if you reevaluate your business and say, oh my God, we have very good customer retention, customers keep buying from us in a regular interval, 2 weekly, weekly, or bi-monthly, it's fine. Whatever it is that your customer is, you know them, congratulations. And an email blast is very good, because you have MailChimp and in blue. I'm not recommending any services, but this email services, because basically you send one, you send to all, and then you can track how many people are interested and are opening those emails and actually clicking the links that you are sending them. So actually, it's a very good service tool, not as a marketing tool. That's why I'm asking you to utilize it as a service tool, not as a marketing tool, because suddenly your customers are more, oh my God, there's a 11/11 sale, there's a Merdeka sale, 30% one off. Oh my God, so that's 1/3 off, so I can buy 3. So your customers will actually just save up money from their payday and just buy it on Merdeka Day, so that 3 products on Merdeka Day, because it's cheap. So yeah, sometimes it's very useful, right? For example, so so that you can get feedback and of course service. Usually when I have this email, 2 things. One is promotion. 2 things is to understand the matter. Hey, with the recent purchases, we just want to understand that, because we were trying to come up with, because we noticed that a lot of people just increasing, just buying on sales, because we have a free delivery for 150 ringgit, and then we just say, if we reduce to 50 at the rate below 5 kg and below 8 kg, because additional cost may incur after that, would you be interested if we give you this promotion as a trial? And then suddenly they said yes, and I give them all the free codes, and then turns out last time I did 200, 150 for deliveries for a business. Turns out most people, they are very happy. I thought was standing at 50. They're just happy, like free delivery, anything. If you give them 50 ringgit free delivery, 80 ringgit free delivery, they will match that price, because those people who want free delivery, they will spend as much as what is required to get that benefit. So surprise, is via email, right? So step 2 is utilize your existing channels. Your channels is actually one of the things how do you get, but it also helps our customers to get value and information. It helps you to get more control over processes, more engagement, and grow your customers. All right. So this is some a simple process about affordable shaving product. So basically, the channels is online store, and one of the mediums that they want to market is via YouTube video. Because again, if it's a men's tool, then probably best to demonstrate it. Because if it's online, then you cannot touch, feel, and see it, or you cannot even you can even test it out. Why don't you just demonstrate it via video? I mean, that's all you need, right? So that's what you do. And if it's, for example, Spotify, again, Spotify is double-edged sword, because you cannot advertise to paying customers. So I'm an avid and active podcast listener. I listen to podcasts almost nightly, but since I pay, I don't hear ads. So best for you to advertise, I guess, for kids, and I mean preteens and teens and university students, those who are adults or non-adults who are a bit matured, and who don't want to pay for the ad-free services. And so again, you look at that, right? So, and step 3, find out where your customers are right now and where do they want to go. So you have all of these social media channels. You really need to know your customers. On Facebook, honestly, people my age are on Facebook, and even people my age and younger are on Instagram. You don't have, 60 over on Instagram so much. You do have them, but not so much. On YouTube, you probably have people younger than me who are video centric, maybe more right now to the adults because they are learning how to learn online, and YouTube is one of the very good learning tools for seniors. So you can have that as well. Twitter and Google Plus is non-existent in Malaysia. Twitter, surprisingly, I know I keep saying this all the time, surprisingly, young people are picking it up, and adults, you have that gap between 60 and over politicians, and as well as pengaras and CEOs, maybe 50 over lah, and below 18s. So surprisingly, there's a big gap in middle between between the generations that doesn't use Twitter. LinkedIn is primarily on surprise school children are starting to use LinkedIn, so that's one avenue for you to advertise, because they're looking up to build that profile for university and for employment in the future. So they're starting early on in high school, and there are some people who are advocating that as well. And of course, you have everybody in university also on LinkedIn, not so much on, and young professionals, not so much on established professionals. Trust me, established professionals, they don't go for LinkedIn, but young professionals, 2-3 years on the job, or even a few months on the job, they are very active on LinkedIn, right? And I just want to highlight one thing, WhatsApp. The thing behind the digital marketing is that people say, hey, everybody has WhatsApp, we have to do WhatsApp. Now, WhatsApp doesn't let you to advertise directly to customers. That's the problem. People say that everybody has WhatsApp. Everybody that you know, even your mother, even your grandparents, not my grandparents, my grandfather cannot use anything digital. So he uses a landline. It's the only TM customer that I know that uses a landline. He doesn't use anything else. But yes, he has a smartphone, but he uses the landline much more. He's almost 100, so he's comfortable with that. So he's only so again, with WhatsApp, it's a good communication tool, but it's not a good marketing tool if you don't know your customers. There is a way for you to market on WhatsApp, but it's not as simple as like, oh, if we are on WhatsApp, we basically can communicate with 32 million people in Malaysia. Yes, you can, but you have to know them first, and that requires marketing. So if you don't market, if you don't understand the concept of good marketing and good strategies in order to build your customer base, you cannot market to them on WhatsApp. You can only market to old customers or new customers if they're interested. You cannot like just, oh, okay, I want to target 200,000 people in KL. I'll pay Facebook to blast WhatsApp, and it doesn't work that way, right? So understand that it's a communication tool first before a marketing tool, and you'll be fine. Your expectations will be met by then, right? So as I mentioned, where they are now and where they want to go, so I was very surprised when I learned that the e-commerce platform, because it's so so dominant, it is everywhere. That's why I'm not kidding. You go to restaurants, there's a Shopee Pay icon there. So and there's financing. There is a literal financing app within the app within Shopee Wallet and Lazada that offers either 0% installments or that offer mini loans with whatever product is listed in their platform. So surprise, that's where the customers are going. So that's why when I had a bank, so a group of executives from banks telling me that that they're going into one of these two platforms, I was, okay, tell me how it is. And I said it's preposterous. And then when they told me everything, oh, good. Now I understand where you're going with this, because this is not your value, doesn't fit anything with your value proposition, but and how you know your customers. But one thing about how you know your customers is where they're going and where they're spending their money on, because you're a bank, you know where they're spending their money on. So you notice that they're spending much more on e-commerce on a significant basis compared to last year, compared to 3 years ago. So that's why you're selling your financial solutions, because you're a bank, you need to make money on this platform. So so I said, wow, so they're smarter than we think. So But again, nothing related with them. They don't have any stakeholders, but they know where the customers are there. They know how they spend their time and how much they spend. Definitely, they see the value of them being with being where the customers are. That's it. If, for example, there's a Facebook 2.0, if I know all my customers are going there, I'm going to go there. If I know we make fun of Google Plus, right in the middle between Twitter and LinkedIn. Nobody in Malaysia uses, nobody I know uses Google Plus. But let's say everybody that I know, my customers are going there. I'll open up a Google Plus account. And of course, the butt of the joke with InScan and everything is that because I think InScan is one of the few and only government agencies that's conducting a professional TikTok for business class and program. So yeah, people. I think our CEO Tuan Firdaus gets a lot of jeers from his peers, especially the CEOs and government agencies, because he's the only one who's doing TikTok. But we notice that our customers, all of our trainees, all of the entrepreneurs that we help, they are going there, and they are 45 plus, older, and of course young people. They are going there because they know their customers are on that platform. That's why it's so important. Yes, it's fun to make fun of the platform, how it's very predominantly young people, but it's also fun to monetize and dominate the medium before everybody else gets a chance. So again, those people who are actually in that market, who knows how to market to their customers on TikTok, those are the only players. Nobody else. I mean, because we're jeering and we haven't recognized it yet. And of course, because TikTok does not share their data with other people. Facebook, Instagram, they share their data with each other regularly. So they know how many platforms on TikTok and everything. But with TikTok, it's not the same. Very different ballpark, very different scenario. Similar how Google ads and Facebook ads is different, is the same with TikTok as well. So you have very specific demographic in one area and very huge opportunities in one area. For me, that's also that's a win-win, right? So you need to know where your customers are going, right? So digital tools need not only to be used for marketing, it can be used for anything that has to do with communications in your company, with operations, yes, and accounting. Small entrepreneurs, I'm sure most of the participants here are established. Small entrepreneurs, they keep having problems because accounting and everything, they don't have a proper POS. I always tell them there's a lot of tools available out there. I dare not recommend one, but I would just say that I heard good things about Niaga One. Again, I'm not recommending, but usually people say that, oh, because everything is in an app or on a phone, and they basically track my financial records. But of course, you need a lot of onboarding, a lot of knowledge, a lot of training for you to utilize those solutions. So please go ahead and explore. Be a customer for other businesses. Look at their value proposition, see what your needs are and whether the needs are met, and buy in or try it out for free. Yeah. So there's a lot of solutions that you can that is being offered, and you can try, right? So as I mentioned, I really want to discuss about all of these things with regards to digitalizing your business, specifically on your company. But I guess the basics are there. I've given you the basics, but hopefully I look forward to hearing some questions from you with regards to how or when or whether this solution fits with my business. So is there any questions so far? Right. If there's no question, I'd like to ramble on one thing. So if there's any questions, please type it out, or please be ready to just voice out your questions. One thing that I want to ramble on is just that when everything with new media, yes, it's fun to make fun of them. It is fun to make fun of them. Even Google Plus is a funny thing among tech people to make fun as a huge failure from one of the biggest companies in the world, right? And they have Google, they have YouTube. It's not like it's not the first time, but Google Plus was primarily laughable because it failed to achieve its needs, and it's shutting down. It's still not fully shut down, but it's shutting down. So, but I promise you, whenever there's a pool, you just ask yourself, hey, why are these people going there? And I'm not a watcher myself, but my wife watches it, and when I see it, oh, it's actually very, very good. It's snippets of information, snippets of jokes and memes at very fast intervals, so you don't have to think. So one of the things that if you engage in Scanvid, especially with our TikTok for business class, when you go there, they said whenever the content that you're looking for, it's not Instagram, it's not Facebook, it's not YouTube, it's something specific for TikTok, and that's how you venture into TikTok for business. All right, but of course, I'm not here to replace the whole 2 days class. But it is very useful to learn where your customers are going at. Right. So, any questions?
Dr. Imran, Aznita here.
Yes.
Let's say for service industry, let's say for aircon cleaning.
Yes.
Right? So, is it advisable if you go digital on that in promoting the service, or is it just safe to just do recommendations lah? Okay,
What you usually do, how you usually get your customers?
By mouth lah.
It's good. For me, it's always about whatever. Go back to the value proposition and your customer segments. Usually, your customers are very, very happy whatever they are. And sometimes if they're not happy, they will suggest, hey, can we just contact you via WhatsApp, or can we book something like that? It's very hard to find you. So yeah, usually we'll just take those recommendations seriously and pivot wherever it needs to. But if it's via recommendation, via networking, or via contract service from a developer, for example, if you're servicing aircon, so you just prioritize those channels. Your relationship with the developer is more important than your relationship with the individual customers, because that's how you get most of your servicing contracts, right? From the developer, for example. Or when you're one-to-one with the customers, you have your own Facebook, you have your own Instagram, you don't have an online booking, but you have WhatsApp. So you just WhatsApp, you say, hey, here's a picture of a leaking, can you come and fix it? And then you come. So it's fine. You don't have to promote that you're on the digital space on Facebook or on Instagram. Is because sometimes that's where you're not where your customers are looking for you. For me, if you don't know your customers yet, I usually will ask a questionnaire. Hey, thank you for being a customer. Here's a 5 ringgit voucher that is redeemable now. If you can just answer a few basic questionnaire. How do you find us? What is the process that you look for? Atau saya aircon leaking, or I need it to be serviced, or it's way past my service due. I suddenly remember, and I just look for aircon cleaners on Google, and suddenly one of you're listed in the maps, and I just called you. So that you can try to map the customer journey for most of your customers, and then you just prioritize that. For me, usahawan I have usahawan yang doesn't want to go digital. Sorry, apologies. What I say to them is, it's fine. I say to them, prove to me that your customers are not where in the digital space, not where you are, where you don't want to get to be. So I said to them, prove to me, and then they prove to me, oh, it's okay, this one I get from contact, this one from my phone number. So they prove to me that the customers are not on Facebook, not in any digital media. I was very happy with the explanation. But if they cannot prove to me, I said, why don't we try? It's better for you to have 2 new customers than 0 customers, right? So let's try. So that's what I usually say. But of course, you prioritize your own processes to improve your own internal process, to improve your own internal networks is much more important than just, we need to go digital. So hopefully a hypothetical group of customers are ready to accept our value. Right. So thank you very much for that question.
All right. Thank you.
Any other questions?
So what you're saying is that, okay, or should we actually validate the need for an online to be an online or digital.
Yeah, that's what exactly what I'm saying to you. It's kind of like proof to me that it's there. Proof to me it's not there. So it's more about how you know your customers and how what you know about your customers. If you think that it is, it's a very it warrants a quick survey or quick dialogue with your customers, because sometimes people just keep thinking, oh, this is how we go. Certain businesses are very prehistoric, very kuno, right? It's like the concept of insurance. Insurance right now, from the 1980s till now, is very much agency driven based, more on social networking on a physical level as opposed to online, right? So because people get agents get customers, and that's where they get the bulk of the business from the insurance and takaful business. So again, I'm not asking them, oh, why don't you just digitalize and get everybody online? It will never work, because those customers and those companies know that the customers are dependent on the agents, on the social network, on the established relationship with the agents, not on the company, not on our insurance plans. So that's why I ask you, just focus on whatever that you're doing right now. Whatever is not broken doesn't need to be fixed, but you need to check up on it and see that, oh, our customers actually online, offline. Where do we actually get our customers usually? So something like that. So it's, yeah, a validation and a verification would very much help this problem to be answered with, right?
Okay, thank you.
Very good question. Anybody else? Right.
I think we have 2 minutes left to the whole webinar session. If anybody would like to ask Dr. Imran anything. Well, then if there are none, perhaps Dr. Imran, anything you'd like to say before, well, you do have 2 minutes more.
Right, I just want to say thank you very much to everybody. It's been a huge honor, and it's been a wonderful time from start to finish ever since I've engaged with Haslina, Wan Noor and her team, and Paul Malia and her team, everybody in the team. I was very happy that I have this platform, and I can control the narrative, and as well as kind of like give my 2 cents on where you should be right now. Because again, if you want to learn entrepreneurship from start to finish, definitely I can help you. But I'm really interested in helping to solve a problem, especially if you have one right now. So that's been a huge priority for me. And of course, it's been an honor to meet and talk with each and every one of you, especially the participants, and then address their concerns and questions. And for me, it's more about what we can achieve in such a short span of time. For me, it's re-educating. As I mentioned, we don't have 10 years to re-educate and educate people, but within this 3 to 6 hours in the past 2 days, I'm very humbled and very proud of whatever that we have achieved, whatever we have gone through together in this very short span of time. So it's a testament of what we can do if we prioritize certain things. Within this very short, 3 hours is nothing compared to 10 years of education, right? But it's more about, small successes, small victories that we can achieve in a very, between work before lunch, right? So thank you very much, I am very happy with this session. I look forward to more sessions like this. And if the participants are very happy with this form of content, please engage with Bioeconomy Corporation so that you have more of this, especially to address your specific needs. With, I guess, accounting, taxation, business planning, how to get funding. Yeah, those are the things that if you engage with certain stakeholders, they might have avenues that they can help with. And of course, myself, if I can help in any way, inshallah. So thank you very much. That's all from me.
Thank you, Dr. Imran. Before that, I'd like to request, of course, a group photo. So those who have not switched on or wish to switch on your video or camera, please do so now. I'll give you a few seconds, 2 seconds to do so. Everybody get your smiles ready, and let's have one group photo now.